I am proud that our tradition of giving begins with our students. Each year, the graduating class holds a fundraising project in order to give back to the institution. 80% of the class of 2018 made a gift this past spring and earmarked those gifts to ensure that you and the classes behind them would have opportunities to gather as a community, united and inclusive. I hope that you will match their generous spirit and perhaps aim to even exceed their participation rate. As I said to our students on Tuesday at the Gateway Dinner when we presented our stethoscopes to them, I encourage you to be active members of your Medical Alumni Association as students and continue that when you become alumni. Now, a bit of history about the white coat. If we go back to the turn of the 19th century, it was a period of tremendous progress in public health and medicine when the benefits of sanitation and clean water were recognized. In the hospital setting, antiseptics revolutionized care. With the advent of germ theory, physicians aimed to be more scientific in their practice and their dress. Medical schools also adopted a more rigorous and standardized curriculum. The white coat embodied this new philosophy. White is the color of hope, and the lab coat the symbol of the healer. Surgeons became the first to wear the white coat, followed by hospital doctors and then general practitioners. By 1915, it had become the norm. The white coat reminds physicians of their professional duties as prescribed by Hippocrates to lead their lives and practice their art in respectability and honor. This ceremony is performed for our incoming class at the beginning of each academic year. The white coat ceremony welcomes those embarking on their medical careers to the community of physicians by giving them this powerful symbol of compassion and honor. The Medical Alumni Association is proud to be a part of this journey in your medical education. Now I would like to introduce our first speaker, Bree Gary, a member of the class of 2019. She is the president of the Mulholland Society, which is our student governing body for the School of Medicine. So please welcome Bree.
Hello and welcome, esteemed faculty, guests, family and friends, and most of all, to the class of 2022. My name is Bree. As Barry just mentioned, I'm a member of this year's graduating class, the class of 2019. I'm also serving as our student body president for this academic year, and it's my pleasure and privilege on behalf of the student body to welcome you formally to the UVA School of Medicine. I was sitting in your seats 3 very short years ago, so excited to start medical school, and today I'm excited for the start of your medical careers and the unique journey that you're about to undertake to become a physician. In the spirit of my planning a career in surgery, I'm going to give you your first anatomy lesson, the anatomy of the white coat. No lesson is complete here at the School of Medicine without learning objectives. For those of you here at the School of Medicine, here with us today who are unfamiliar with what learning objectives are, they're essentially learning goals about the expected knowledge you're supposed to obtain about a certain topic. Students will cover thousands of these learning objectives over their 4 years here, but I'll argue that what I'm about to tell you is practical and perhaps more important than the Krebs cycle and everything else I've forgotten about biochemistry. Learning objective number 1, appreciate that the white coat is white. You will get food on it, you will get ink on it, and you will get bodily fluids on it. When you least expect it, maybe your patient's, maybe your own. If you've never used bleach in your life and the parent who did your laundry as a kid is currently here today, today is the day to ask them to teach you how to use bleach. For the dads out there who also don't know how to use bleach, it's also for you. Learning objective number 2. Please don't be the medical student who passes out because they haven't eaten. The most important function, I would argue, of white coat pockets, of which there are many, is to carry snacks. The most important function with the snacks is that if you remember anything today, just remember that. This was admittedly my only takeaway from when I was a first-year student at my white coat ceremony, and the student body president at the time gave that advice. It has served me extremely well, which brings me to learning objective number 3. Understand that the best part about the white coat is that it has pockets. There's a left breast pocket, and then 4 large pockets, one on each side, on the inside and the outside. And you might be wondering what you'll fill in all of this space. The left breast pocket, I actually have a demo here, the phone and pen pocket, and due to its smaller size. But then with the larger pockets, you can carry so much more, and you will. You'll fill them with patient notes, notes from patients themselves thanking you, small reference books, research articles, your reflex hammer, and your stethoscope. When you're on your surgery rotation, you will be the walking storage closet for your team. You will carry, I actually had to empty my pockets before I came here. You will carry 4x4 gauze, 2x2 gauze, drain sponges, scissors, long Q-tips, alcohol swabs, ace wraps, lubricant, saline, tape, and so much more. What was lesson number 2? Always leave room for snacks. Side note, to save space, you can wear your stethoscope around your neck. I have mine actually in my front pocket right now. And yes, it is as cool as it looks. But what isn't cool, especially when you reach the hospital, is when your stethoscope, wearing it around your neck, it gets caught in your hair, it gets caught in your glasses, it gets caught in a door handle, or it gets caught on your patient's IV pole. These things have all happened to me, and it will happen to you, and it's very difficult to be graceful about it. Learning objective number 4. Also the reason why we're all here today. The white coat is a symbol of our profession. If you're like me and can still pass for a college student, a white coat bonus is that it may add a couple extra years to your age. Nonetheless, it's still a short white coat, and those in the medical field, at the hospital and elsewhere, will easily identify you as a student. But non-medical people will think that you know real medical things, when in reality you know nothing. And this is all because you're wearing a white coat. And the last learning objective of this anatomy lesson, number 5. Realize that your white coat has your full name and UVA School of Medicine right on the front where everyone can see it. Every time you wear your coat, you're representing our School of Medicine and our larger UVA family, and everything you do reflects back on so much more than just yourself. Conversely, people in the community will lump you into a much larger group than just that of a student. I still remember on my first rotation of 3rd year on family medicine when I was outside of Charlottesville, I had a patient going on and on about the vascular surgery they had here, as if I understood anything they were telling me, and all the physicians and surgeons who had helped them through this very difficult time in their lives. But the white coat does that. It will make some people think that you are someone important because all they know is that only important people wear white coats. So wear your coat with pride and confidence every time you wear it, whether you're just having a patient presentation as part of pre-clerkship, when you're down practicing your physical exam skills for CPD, and of course when you're in the hospital and outside of Charlottesville. Wear it with pride and confidence every single time, even when you have absolutely no idea what you're doing. And so that wraps up my short anatomy lesson. To summarize, good luck keeping your white coat clean and learn how to use bleach. Always have snacks, use your pockets wisely, and don't get ambushed by your own stethoscope. Remember that your white coat has significance and importance and represents the medical field and our UVA community, and be proud to be a medical student here at UVA. In a short bit, you'll don your white coats for the first time walking across this stage, and as you exit the stage, you'll sign our honor scrolls. Part of what makes our student community so awesome at UVA is the concept of honor. That's with a capital H. That you will not lie, cheat, or steal during your time as a student and beyond. When you sign the scrolls, you're signing a pledge to commit yourself to this principle. In addition to practicing exemplary behavior, I also hope that you get involved in our community activities, whether that's volunteering in the Charlottesville community, doing research, being a part of student government, which I think is the best thing, or playing in our flag football and basketball leagues. It's hard for me to put into words what's ahead of you. It truly feels like just yesterday that I was sitting in your seat, right up there. Shout out to Hunter College. I vaguely remember coming up here. My parents were sitting right on the corner, and I very vaguely remember smiling at Dean Densmore, actively regretting that I was wearing high heels and just really focusing on not tripping and falling. But since then, my brain has been filled with knowledge. I actually know some real medical things now. And I feel like I've already had the experiences of a lifetime in taking care of patients during some of the best and worst moments in their lives. To all the family and friends here today, my advice to you is to be understanding and flexible while your loved one is a medical student and beyond. School can be stressful, and our schedules are often not our own, especially during our rotation year. Gift cards to restaurants and care packages are definitely appreciated and helpful, especially during exam weeks when cooking dinner might be really tough and trying to be healthy and stay active is equally difficult. I know I wouldn't be here today without the love and support of my mom and dad and my friends. To the students, I hope you're all excited and looking forward to what's ahead. And please don't hesitate to reach out to me or any other upperclassmen for advice, because we're all here to support you, and we've all been through what you're about to go through. Best of luck as the school year begins. Thank you for not falling asleep. And on behalf of the student body, welcome to the UVA School of Medicine.
Thank you so much, Bree, for that anatomy lesson. It is a great pleasure now that I get to introduce our Dean, Dr. David Wilkes, who has been a tremendous support for the Medical Alumni Association, the Medical School Foundation. He's a member of our board of directors and a member of our board of trustees. He is an active participant in everything that we do, and I am greatly appreciative of all the things that he comes to and engages with our constituents. Dr. Wilkes is, as I mentioned, our Dean of the School of Medicine. He received his bachelor's degree from Villanova University in Philadelphia, his medical degree from Temple, and then he also completed his residency at Temple University. He had a pulmonary and critical care fellowship at the University of Texas Southwestern Medical Center, and is also a military veteran, having served 3 years as a major in the U.S. Air Force Medical Corps. Dr. Wilkes joined UVA after 20 years at Indiana University. Since joining us in 2015, Dr. Wilkes' accomplishments are remarkable. Under his leadership, our U.S. News rankings in primary care and research have increased, and most recently, our medical medical center was ranked #1 in the state of Virginia for the second consecutive year, which includes 6 specialties rated among the top 50 nationally, and 4 specialties rated among the top 10% nationally. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Wilkes.
So good morning, or I should say good afternoon, everyone. I should start by just asking, who's excited today? This is a day for excitement, and I want to thank all of you, particularly family, friends, for coming to Charlottesville and to the University of Virginia School of Medicine. And I really like to thank, and we've heard this before, thanking the Medical Alumni Association for supporting our activity today. This is a very important step for the class of 2022. That's what you guys are. And this is the first real symbolic step to becoming a physician, getting your white coat, as you just heard from one of our students who will depart very soon. But before I begin parts of what I'd like to address the students with, I have to talk about some of the tensions that are in our city today. As I told the students yesterday, so I think most of our class was in a town hall yesterday with a large number of our other students, and we were talking about the events that might unfold, over the weekend. So for those in the room today and those listening in Newcomb Hall, please follow the safety recommendations that have been given to you. And spending time outside of downtown or the mall downtown is recommended. Many other places to eat outside of this area, up in north, in the Stonefield area, in Earlysville, and then there are many breweries, wineries. There's a winery, brewery, a week opening up in Charlottesville, and the scenery is pretty dramatic. So please feel free to get out and about. I've been asked by our security folks who that when we're done today, that we leave the building and then leave immediately from Central Grounds. So that may sound like somewhat of a downer, but I'm going to counter that by letting you know a few things about us at the School of Medicine. And I want everyone in this room to know, and particularly the medical students, so our class of 22, that we are not defined by the events or these groups. And we do great work at the medical school, and we're going to keep moving forward. So I want you to know, and as Barry Collins has already mentioned, that we are a school and a university and a medical center of inclusiveness. And I'm proud to say that just this week, the UVA health system was recognized by blackdoctors.org as a health and wellness website as one of the top 50 most diverse health systems in the nation, and one that delivers high quality care by promoting equity and inclusion in our operations, programs, services, and staffing. And we are an esteemed company in this group, because in this top 50 list are institutions like Johns Hopkins, the Mayo Clinic, and the Cleveland Clinic. The diversity of our student body has received national recognition, and in fact, 2018, this year, is the 6th consecutive year that the School of Medicine received the Higher Education Excellence in Diversity Award that's given by Insights to Diversity magazine. This is a national award. It's something that we're quite proud of. And our health system is one of the few, literally, one of maybe 3 in the country, where the dean of the hospital, or the dean of the medical school, and the medical center CEO are persons of color. This sort of recognition doesn't come as a result of short-term tactics. It's a long-term and long game, one of consistency, and one establishing a record of welcoming those folks who are underrepresented in whatever field you are in medicine. So I share this with you just to know that we are very sincere and focused on this environment of inclusion, and it's quite a juxtaposition to what is anticipated that might occur in the weekend, over the weekend in Charlottesville. So let's turn to why we're here today. We're here to celebrating the learners who are embarking on a road of healing and service. And so it's quite a privilege for me and quite a joy to be here with you on this very special occasion. And although amazingly, it's been more than a few years since I sat where you are, but in fact, when we had the white coat ceremony, it wasn't something that was defined. It's something that just happened. There wasn't the pageantry and all the things that we do today. And so this day is quite a special day because it really marks taking that first step. So I won't tell you how long ago that was for me, but I'll just share with you there was no internet. There's no need to laugh. There was no PowerPoint. Apple, the largest company in the world, was just 2 years old at that time. And there was this thing called a Mac. That was something you got at McDonald's. But I still remember, with the great excitement, anxiety, anticipation, eagerness, and incredible sense of unlimited possibility, it was quite an amazing day. So I also felt like this just, a number of years ago, a little bit more recent, and I sat in a room like this. But in this time, I had a different type of a feeling, and one of so much pride, where I was the one putting the white coat on my daughter, albeit not at UVA, but at another medical school. And I can't describe that feeling. It's one of exhilaration, and I'm sure one that all of you in this room will feel when you see our students put on their white coats today. So again, I'm truly honored to be part of this ceremony with you. So to the students of the class of 2022, it's going to be a transformational journey. I think all of you probably realize that. It's going to be inspiring. It's going to be rigorous. You'll be buoyed by enthusiasm and discovery. You'll be deflated by exhaustion, and there'll be just too little time to do so many things. But then again, you'll be lifted, and truly lifted, when the dots connect and you apply your knowledge and see results as you realize the profound difference that you can make in the lives of others. This is the essence of what we do. We serve our patients. So you're going to learn a lot about the scientific basis of medicine, how to take a clinical history, perform a mental and physical exam, interpret myriad numbers of lab tests, clinical procedures, and explain why you ordered them and why you determined them to be significant or not. You'll learn how to identify and apply preventive, curative, and palliative clinical interventions. You'll develop a prognosis about the future health of an individual based on their condition and the known interventions for it. And you'll really get focused on learning, applying, questioning, double-checking, making sure, doing it right. This all sounds about being very compulsive, but at the end of the day, that's what it's really about. And so, doing so, it's important to remember that we don't forget the patient. It's a real person who's frightened, confused, uncertain, and relies on you to fix whatever is wrong. So in the midst of learning and applying all of this knowledge, life-changing knowledge, you'll need to remember that the person that we call the patient is the center of all of which that you're doing and that you will do throughout your careers. And this may seem obvious, but it isn't always easy to remember in the rapid pace of the environment that we're in. There's lots of sounds, literally cacophony of activity that's going around. But I ask you to remember three things that to take with you as you go forward. They're simple things, but they're things that I think are crucial to keeping your patient at the center at all of what you do. So 3 items. First, see and be seen. Second, to listen. And third, touch. And I'm going to describe each one of these. So see and be seen. Communication with your patient is obviously essential to any medical encounter. But often you won't see your patient because you're preoccupied with data entry. I'm sure those of you who have visited a doc's office, you're watching them type in information in the medical record, and they may not be actively looking at you. Or you may be preoccupied by thinking about the next patient, or the phone calls, or the pagers. So I ask you to stop. Remember to look your patient in the eye, and then look at them through the eyes of compassion. Without even thinking about it, we also make it difficult for our patients to see us. If you're looking at the computer screen, entering data during a patient visit, then your patient can't see your face, and you can't see the patient when they answer your questions. This could mean that you're going to miss vital information that might lead to follow-up questions or give additional clues about your patient's condition. And in the hospital, many of our patients aren't able to see your face simply because of restricted movement. They may not be able to turn their neck, or they may be in such a position in the bed that they can't see you, and that prevents them from seeing you as you move around the bed. So when our patients can't see us, they feel powerless, extremely uncomfortable, and they feel invisible and devalued. So I ask you again to stop. Really see your patient and make sure that they can see you. So what about listening? We're under constant auditory assault. There's beepers, phones, machine monitors, hallway chatter. Anybody who's been in a hospital environment or in a clinic environment knows that it's a pretty busy and can be a pretty noisy pace. So sometimes in an environment like that, it's simply hard to hear what your patient is saying. Or for whatever reason, your patient may have difficulty in communicating or telling you exactly what is wrong. But despite these challenges, you must really listen to what your patient says. This is hearing what they are saying and hearing between the words. That is also hearing what they don't say. And while you listen, you must also see. What are the unspoken physical responses to your questions? Did your patient look away when you asked a question? Did they shift their posture? Did they sit more upright? Did their face light up with a recognition of relief? All of this is communication and information. So simply hearing is not enough. You must learn to see when you're also listening. What about touch? So human touch is probably the most effective way to communicate to someone that you care about. As students, you'll see that we create a lot of barriers between us and patients. We wear masks, we wear gowns, they're gloves. The white coat that you get is considered by some to be a barrier. And these are very effective ways of creating the barrier, and it's all done for the right reason. It's done for our safety, but in the safety, our safety and for patient safety. But still, there's rarely a time when you are not able to simply reach out and take your patient's hand in your own or provide a pat on the back. These are very basic gestures that provide huge amounts of reassurance to your patients, and it sends a message to your patient that you genuinely care and that you're present at that time. It reinforces to the patient they have value and that they are seen as a person and they are actually being heard. So these 3 elements, seeing, listening, and touching, are keystones to any relationship. And regardless of any of your individual accomplishments, your success is going to depend on how well you build these relationships, and relationships are foundational to everything that you'll do from this day going forward. So I'm really glad, and understatement is really glad that you're here at the University of Virginia School of Medicine, and I'm glad that we chose you and you chose us. You'll make our school a better place. You'll change how medicine it will be practiced. You'll become the physician leaders of tomorrow, and I am certain that you'll make us proud. And you are the class of 2022. Welcome to the UVA School of Medicine.
Elks. Well, now it's time to move into the reason we're all here, the coating ceremony part. Presentation of the white coats. Our announcer today will be Senior Associate Dean for Education, Dr. Randy Canterbury, who has been a member of the School of Medicine since 1984 and serves as the Wilford Spradlin Professor of Psychiatric and Internal Medicine. Dr. Canterbury has made significant contributions to the School of Medicine, notably to the design and implementation of the innovative Next Generation Cells to Society curriculum. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Canterbury.
Thank you very much, and welcome to class of 2022. Good afternoon to everyone. This afternoon, we're going to be calling the students up in alphabetical order, but within their colleges. Now, they clearly have been enculturated already into the 4 colleges. I heard the applause. But for those of you who don't know about the colleges, when students come here, when they matriculate, we divide them into 4 different groups. Each one is called a college with the respective names that you heard about earlier. These are learning communities, opportunities for students to work in smaller groups than the entire 156 class, get to know each other better. Sort of think of Harry Potter and Hogwarts, you know, it's a little bit like that, but our college deans are more attractive. The college deans do have the honor of placing the coats on our students. 4 of the students from this year's class have immediate family members who are members of the School of Medicine family, either as alumni or faculty. These legacy students will be presented with their coats by their physician family members. We also have 6 MD, PhD students who will be presented their coats by the director of the Medical Scientist Training Program, Dr. Dean Kettis. So the students in Douglas College will receive their coats first, and to present those coats is Dr. Meg Keeley, Dean of Douglas College. Dr. Keeley is a 1992 graduate of the School of Medicine and a professor of pediatrics, and I'm sure that all the Douglas College students will invite her to the stage with a round of applause. Okay, so to the students, ushers will stand in the aisles and signal your row when it's time to come stand and then proceed down to the stage. After receiving your white coat, be sure to sign the honor pledge before leaving the stage. Audience, this is to you. I know it is very, very difficult to hold back, but I ask you please to hold your applause and whistles and hoots and cheers until we finish putting the coats on all of the students in the college. That's never worked before, but let's hope for today. I mean, we do have other things to do this weekend. Okay, we are beginning with the students of Douglason, starting with Jaime Arizaga. Kimberly Rachel Boatman. Jacob Alexander Breton. Carlos Alexander Ceballos. Si Chao Chen. Justin Sky Coley. Nicholas Martin Deal. Alexandra Jacqueline Quigley DeFelice. Anthony Louis Del Vecchio. Tiffany Doon. Prashnath Finn. Zev Raphael Gurman. Samuel Carlos Hopman. Natalie Dale Hillerson. Naveen Chandra Kotha. Prajeeth Kumar Koida. Jana Lane. Jacqueline Lee. Wei-Feng Ma. Jasmine Kaur Mali. Patrick Edward O'Hara. And then MSTP student, Gustavo Pacheco. Emma Catherine Phillips. Joshua Robert Ravitch. Iman C. Ritchie. Zoe Alexa Recker. Robert H. Roth. Stephen Carl Sherping III. Leah M. Chabot. Hannah Catherine Sigmund. Kristen Lee Smoot. Troy Emerson Sterling. Shalini Sabaro. Peyton Hamilton Terry. Bridget Torres. William Hainsworth Treadwell. David Ashworth Watts. Catherine Marie Webb. Brett Whalen. Lisa Ann White. Rachel M. Williams. Another MSTP student, Niket Yadav. Please give a hand for Douglas and College. Remarkable restraint, I must say. Next to present is Dr. John Dinsmore, Dean of Hunter College. He's an associate professor of hematology and oncology in the Department of Medicine and is also our associate dean for admissions and student affairs. Dr. Dinsmore received his PhD and MD degrees from UVA and completed his residency at our hospital. Please welcome him to the stage. Amna Adris. Naveen R. Ambadi. Elias George Ayub. Michael Andrew Borton. Catherine Renee Brooke. An MSTP student, Gregory Busey. Xiao Yu Kai. Nicole Marie Kaludi. Thomas Sullivan Caldwell. Ernst Casimir II. Christina Gerard Dazel. Courtney Jane Duckworth. Patrick John Dunn. Joshua Coverston McLean Ferre. Jacob Alexander Galindo. Benjamin Charles Genovese. Isabel Gill. Matthew M. Given. Jess David Greenwald. Alexander Christopher Gregg. David Hahn. Emily Hayes Jordan. Hannah Youngjin Kang. William Kim. Manish Koneru. Jason Lee. Kara Elizabeth McIntyre. Joseph Lawrence Maniaci. MSTP student Ryan James Mulligan. Jehun Nalzadi. Natalie Pham. Hans Krish Prokrash. Monica Lynn Prudenzio. Alessandra Marie Riccio. Sarah Shan. Lucy Sue. MSTP student Eleanor Blair Towers. Obiora Ufandu Jr. Andrew M. Vogel. Nathan Wakefield. Nathan will be presented with his coat by his father, Dr. Philip Wakefield, a 1984 UVA School of Medicine alumnus. Tiana Walker. Ariel E. Wilson. And now a hand for Hunter College. Now the students in Penn College will receive their coats, and presenting them will be Dr. Chris Peterson, Dean of Penn College. Dr. Peterson is an associate professor of obstetrics and gynecology and also directs the gynecology clinic at UVA Student Health Center. Please welcome Dr. Peterson. Victor P. Aquino. Luke Arcona. Brianna M. Belmonte. John Francis Burke. Bethany Elizabeth Burr. Jacqueline Elizabeth Carson. Alex James Deemers. Drake Dettinger Dixon. Kira Nathan Dubister. Ryan Duong. Grace Loretta Forster. Fareed Gamsari. Lauren Goldbeck. Jefferson Stanley Griscavage. Elizabeth Harvey. Rebecca Kowalski. Irene Sung Ali. Felix Lee. Alexis Lindsay. Lei Lu. Nicholas Blaine Lally. Alan Yi Young Luke. Itohan Omodion. Abigail Nicole Piccolo. Abjit Ravindran. Stephen Jabari Redman. Leah Richley. Benjamin Carl Robinson. Tanya Rodriguez Carpio. Daniel John Rounds. Danya Sarathi. Nicole Taylor Stelling. Jasmine Ridvan Vatani. Corinne Elizabeth Vanetti. Mark Julian Vetter. Andrew Jacob Winkleman. Ladies and gentlemen, Penn College. Last but definitely not least is Reed College, and our dean is Dr. Sean Reed. Dr. Reed would like to take credit for the naming of Penn College, but it was really named in honor of our alumnus, Walter Reed. Sorry, Dr. Reed. Dr. Reed is an associate professor of family medicine. Please welcome him. Andrew Thomas Burns. Benjamin Fernando Cardenas. Crystal Rose Karkik. David Chung. Tian Kamlekolu. Okay, there went the decorum. Adrian Lee Dobrik. Jacob Aaron Durden. Nicole Lee Edmonds. Austin James Gonzalez. Anna Hackenberg. Anna will be presented with her coat by her sister, Dr. Sarah Hackenberg, a 2018 graduate of the School of Medicine. Eugenie M. Hughes. Brett Jackson. Hannah Kenny. Grace J. Kim. Joshua Thomas Kowalczyk. Maria Lee. Joseph Zachariah Levinson. Stephen Lucas Mucker. Stephen will be presented with his coat by his brother Tim Mucker, a member of the UVA School of Medicine class of 2020. Alexander Peter Martin. Jesse Jordan McClure. Haley Alexandra Mead. Jackson Alexander Narrett. Emily Catherine Ninmer. Barham Justin Osted. Julia Rose Preziosi. Lydia Scott Proquash. Thomas James Quisenberry. Bharath Rama. Bharath will be presented with his coat by his sister, Dr. Lipika Bhatt, a 2015 School of Medicine alumna. Michael Stephen Solomon. Morgan Cerise Tyler. Stephanie Lynn Vidito. Christian Taylor Welch. Jeffrey Philip White. Bennett W. Wisner. William Zachary Wright. Lija Zhang. Let's applaud now for Yun Fowler. Next, I'd like to invite all the new students to stand and the faculty members to join me on the stage for the recitation of the covenant for the entering class and their teachers. This covenant is the first of 3 that you will recite during your medical education and serves to welcome you to the profession of medicine. The words are printed in your program. Bree Gary will lead the students, and I will recite with the faculty.
All right, guys, here we go. As I begin the study of medicine, I acknowledge and accept the responsibilities and privileges of an apprentice learner of ancient art and modern science. With teachers to guide me, I will approach my studies with diligence and integrity, cultivating the competencies and attributes of an accomplished physician. I will respect all persons, including faculty and staff, student colleagues, and especially patients, who will ever be my teachers. I will attend to the experiences, beliefs, and values of others, and reflect on my own attitudes and assumptions. I affirm fidelity to my patients and will respect them, their choices, and their confidentiality. Mindful of my privileged access to their bodies, selves, and stories, I will seek to earn their trust and to care for them with skill, compassion, and fairness. Medical school will not only cultivate my intellect, but also challenge my moral imaginations. It will shape and test my critical judgment and show me my limitations as well as my competencies. It will entail risk. In learning, I will make mistakes. May I forgive, yet always remember and learn from them. Mindful of my own health and well-being, I will seek to balance professional and personal pursuits. I will value my family, friends, colleagues, and mentors, and the mutual trust, humor, and confidence our relationships sustain. My study of medicine will extend throughout my life. In school and beyond, I will hold myself to the highest professional standards. I will look to a collegial model of learning and working. Even now, I assume the physician's responsibility to improve the health of mankind. Awesome. Honor, profession, honor, and advance its contributions. Yeah.
As you embark on the study of medicine, I expect the privilege and responsibility of being your teacher. I will teach you the science and art of medicine and encourage you to be thoughtful, discerning, and compassionate in their practice. I will show you what is known and what is unknown, what is certain and what is not. I will teach you to advance medical knowledge and skills, care for patients, and attend to the health of the public. Trust me to teach you as I trust you and your fellow students to teach me. You see reflected in me the character and social conscience of my profession. I will conduct myself with integrity and show you how I wrestle with issues of ethics and ambiguity. I will accord you respect, tolerance, and fair treatment. I am entrusted with teaching you to extend the same to your peers and patients. I encourage you to see patients as your tutors and to ground your relationships with them in advocacy, mutual vulnerability, and trust, in the utmost fidelity, for this is the heart of medicine. I will give you responsibilities and supervision appropriate to your knowledge and skills. I will not abandon you to your mistakes. I will encourage you always to put forth your best effort and will ask the same of myself. I ask you to recognize your teacher's limits and also your own, and to use your talents and energy to improve this institution and all that it offers. Together, we are the stewards of an ancient and respected profession. You are this profession's future. Proudly, we welcome you into the study and life of medicine. The students may be seated.
I want to thank everybody again for joining us today. We do have another event for family members for our class of 22 on October 6th. It's our Family Day celebration, and we have a day of events planned, which will be held at our Claude Moore Medical Education Building. We will send invitations out to the students and to you, the family members as well too, and I hope that you all can join us in October for this event. This concludes the white coat ceremony for our class of 2022, and I'd like to just say one more time, could we just have a round of applause for our incoming class?